markets closed on a bullish note on Friday. We saw it up about 0.27% at 21,599.27 points. But now I'd like to add oil prices down at $96 per barrel right now. We saw it rebound last week. It's down today. So, of course, there's a significant concern over the effect this is going to have on our markets and foreign investing sentiment. Now, looking at the week's performance, we saw it about 1% up last week. The market, of course, was really up or down, Wole. That's what we saw. But let's talk a little bit more about the performance during the first half of this year and, of course, the outlook for our markets. I do think our markets year-to-date return stands at about 4.19%, which is, of course, not so great at all. Wole, what's your take on how our markets have performed?
Well, like you mentioned, not fantastic. I think many people are disappointed with how equities have performed this year. And of course, there's been a story around the fixed income space. And I think if we can focus on that a little bit, I think the view is that the fixed income space is a key defining issue for the equity market. But even in the fixed income space, there are quite a number of issues that I think are very pertinent. Of course, a lot depends on what happens in Greece and the rest of Europe. Clearly, foreign investors have been bullish about Nigerian fixed income in the past.
But let me tell you, Wole, let me just give you a picture of what analysts are telling me in terms of the outlook for the market. Of course, analysts say there's not much to hold on to right now. I mean, there's serious issues, of course, with our regulators. We heard our SEC DJ sent on compulsory leave. Of course, we had the House of Reps Committee investigating the market crash of 2008, sort of shaking up everything. Analysts say, of course, an issue with the Starcoms class action suit. We had allegations of impropriety coming out in that suit. Of course, that also obviously has shaken investors' confidence in our market. Our PIB, well, analysts do say, sorry for stumbling, but our analysts do say that if we do see our PIB pass, that could help the outlook of the market. Of course, Q3 results also a major factor in what we're going to see into the second quarter of the year. But, you know, foreign investors have been a major issue, Wole, and I know that also has been an issue in the fixed income markets.
Absolutely. Just as I was mentioning, foreign investors are a key player, not just in equities, but in fixed income. And at the start of the year, we did see foreign investors become major players, a lot of money coming into Nigeria. In fact, the central bank put the figure at about $5 billion. But over the last few months, what we've seen is the opposite. We've seen foreign investors take money out as risk around the Naira come to the fore. And of course, with the oil price coming down, that risk remains. But beyond that, I think one of the key factors that many investors are going to be looking at on the fixed income space is monetary policy and how does that play out. Many people feel like the tightening cycle had ended, but now with inflation still on the high, there's a view that we might see another tightening measure, perhaps not a monetary policy rate decision, but more like a liquidity ratio review or cash reserve ratio review. And of course, there is the operation twist, the type of operation twist that we're seeing in Nigeria, perhaps for different reasons compared to what the Fed is doing in the US. But over ₦1 trillion in bonds are likely to mature, and there is now a view that there's a need to move investors out of those maturing bonds to longer dated bonds.
Of course, and like you said, the situation in the Eurozone is still a major issue because 81%, at least of our equities market, is dominated by foreign investors. And if that situation doesn't pan out well, of course, that's going to affect how foreign investors play our markets as we go forward.